This episode is brought to you by Stouffer's. Here comes 3-time juggling champion Natalia Rogers. She's juggling law school, her TA job. Oh, narrowly catches the laundry. What's that fourth ball? Parents unexpectedly showed up at dinner time? Is that too much for Natalia? Not with Stouffer's Chicken Alfredo and its mouth-watering mix of Asiago, Romano, and Parmesan. When you're juggling 4 things at once and the clock strikes dinner, think Stouffer's.
Good evening to you. I'm Tom Ziska. Fox 26 News at 9 starts right now. We're glad to have you with us. We begin with volunteers of an organization called Food Not Bombs being ticketed twice in less than a week. Despite that, it did not stop organizers from showing up and feeding the hungry outside Houston Public Library downtown. Video just taken a few hours ago. Now a federal lawsuit has been filed against the Houston City Ordinance that's being enforced. Fox 26's Shelby Rose explains.
For years, this corner of McKinney and Smith in downtown Houston, in front of the public library, has been used by the group Food Not Bombs to feed the hungry. But as of last week, Houston police has begun enforcing a city ordinance, shutting it down and ticketing the volunteers.
This is an actual arrestable offense, so not only could he lose his money, he could also lose his liberty.
Randall Callanan is a civil rights lawyer representing one of those volunteers, Benjamin Rendon.
Although I'm a lawyer and this is a technical thing, it's also just it is personal because at the simplest, they're outlying feeding people. I mean, it's just like, do you have to say more? There's like, you don't need an explanation. They're outlying feeding people who are hungry and would like something to eat.
So not only are they fighting the ticket, a federal lawsuit has now been filed challenging the anti-food sharing law, which requires organizations to get permission before feeding groups of 5 or more people. Callanan believes that's an infringement on freedom of speech and freedom of religion.
Everyone knows that in the Christian religion, if you read the Bible, it says there repetitively, feed the poor. I think I found 50 references to feeding the poor and the hungry in the Bible.
And based on past cases in other states, Callanan is hopeful they can get this city ordinance deemed unconstitutional.
I believe if this went all the way to the Supreme Court of the United States, we could win on both the issues, freedom of speech and freedom of religion.
He says he expects the city of Houston to file a motion to dismiss before a court date could be set. Reporting in downtown Houston, Shelby Rose, Fox 26 News.
Savage.
This program contains subject matter and language that may be disturbing to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Wherever we go again, more technical problems. We live in the 21st century.
Savage. Unfiltered.
Under. The only reason I know this is because I lived under tyranny. I lived.
Shut the fuck up. You're a fucking
Your host, Michael Gardner.
Proper fashion at the proper time.
Like a Hellcat.
Hey guys, we made it. Alrighty, guys, welcome to today's show. Welcome, guys. I got some bad news. I just shared it here in the private chat. Shaky here, producer of the show, just shaking.
Cowards.
Not blowing smoke up anybody's asses, but they just literally reached out to us here through our Instagram. Shaky just got it right now, saying that they have to reschedule.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
What do you have to say on that there, Joseph?
Oh, great. Let's not. Now, again, those of you who are regulars to the show, you've seen me, heard me say, and I'm going to repeat, I am not a partisan hack. I am not a left or right hack. I am always about principles, not personalities, which means I wouldn't be a left-wing loon and name my group Food Not Bombs, because that is purposeful left-wing flower child commie bullshit. Now, again, not being a hack though, I absolutely support their desire to feed the hungry. But like you, Michael, I think there is more, like with Antifa and black-line Marxists, going on here than what they want to say is going on here. Now, this law, we have to be careful about just anybody and everybody handing out stuff on the street. It could be toxic, it could be poison, it could, so could there be a law? Okay. Now, then maybe they need a permit to do this so that people know it's going to happen and be done and be covered and regulated to some degree. But I am all for feeding the poor, feeding the hungry. And I am for food and bombs because, as Reagan said, peace through strength. If you are not prepared for war and more powerful than your enemies, there will be a massive war, and there will be more people to have to feed because there'll be less food.
Hey, Joseph, this is what I have to say. It's quite interesting here, and I'm glad I didn't promote the episode poster just yet for these people. It's kind of interesting that I did put a little snippet in, towards the middle of the week with what we're going to be talking about, and I find it very fascinating that they have a YouTube channel through Red Rose Media, and they're constantly talking about this food sharing program, which is a huge program here in the States. Food Not Bombs. They're not only in Texas, they're in Florida. I'm told they're up in Detroit area, Wisconsin, Milwaukee. They're very heavy in Milwaukee. So it's kind of interesting that, they see our show here, Savaged Unfiltered, and they're like, I don't know if it's a good idea if we come on because, they have Joseph, they have Michael, they have Sos, 3 conservatives, including David from Frazier Chronicles today. That's 4. I mean, that's like a triple tag team in, WWE wrestling. I mean, we're going to gang up on them. You know what I mean?
But we are going to agree with their desire to feed the poor. We're just going to call them out on their bullshit. They are Red Rose. That's not Republican red. That's commie USSR Red
Joseph,
Star
the communist, the communist says it all on their platform. I mean, if you guys go over to their YouTube channel, everything, the persona, the demeanor on them, it says communist all over it. A black brigades. I mean, she's wearing a black brigade with a red circled emblem that resembles a lot like Black Lives Matter. And Shaky and I, we had done some homework on this group, and they are members of Black Lives Matter. Speaking of Black Lives Matter, we have a gentleman joining us here from. Go ahead. I was going to get Joseph. I was going to get David, but go ahead, buddy.
I know you want to bring in David. Since I got to go in about 40 minutes. I will duck out early. I just want to say one more thing.
Oh, go ahead.
You have a full panel today, so there's no need for me to hang around.
Oh, Joseph, come on.
Let David
don't be like that. But yeah, go ahead.
Give Dave more airtime. I don't want to be selfish. You have me on a lot, and I greatly appreciate that. So I just want to say one more thing. Again, pre-show, behind the scenes, we talked about trust but verify.
Yeah.
Don't believe what Michael, David, Saucer Eyes say. Don't go to CNN, though, or MSNBC, or Huffington Post, or Mother Jones, or Google. Go to DuckDuckGo, Jibberoo, FreeSpoke, PragerU, legitimate search sources, and verify what we say. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to DuckDuckGo and search for the Communist Manifesto. Bring up a copy. Search for the National Socialist Deutschland Arbeiter Party. That's the Nazi Socies of World War II. Bring up their platform. And then search for the Democrat National Committee platform. And look at all 3. And guess what you'll find? They are different language. The Democrats here try to be evasive and a little more flowery, but it's the same shit. Communist Manifesto, National Socialists, Democrats, Fascocrats, as I call them, and Michael's adopted the term. Look at them. Don't believe me. don't believe me, do the fucking research.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hat tip to Joseph for his knowledge.
The Peppadew Pepper on Panera's new Green Goddess Caprese Melt. It's a small detail, but when enough of those details are melted together, they become big. Try the new toasted baguettes from Panera. $0 delivery fee for a limited time.
It's only worth it if you enjoy it. The Globe Ultra.
But guys, I want to bring in David, known as the Preacherman, from his show Frazier Chronicles. Always a great honor and a privilege having him on the show, because him and I we have the same tongue, so to speak. We speak the same language, but you know, he's joining us here all the way from the great state of North Carolina and Charlotte. David, welcome back to the show, of course, buddy.
Oh yes, appreciate it. Always a pleasure to be here.
Yeah. So what do you think of this group? I do apologize, buddy, for not having them on, because obviously, you know, they seen the show. You know, Shaky. Maybe they're a little intimidated. There we go. With our content, what we bring to the podcasting networks of Spotify, iHeart, and including Rumble now. What's your insight on all this stuff? Food, not bombs.
My insight on it, one is, I just think that, honestly, it's a great thing to feed the homeless. It's homeless everywhere. It's always a great thing. I just think that when it comes down to it and where they were doing it at, because, you know, they were saying that they were doing it in front of a library, which is, you know, public property. And I get, you know, most people that are homeless, they're going to hang around your public libraries. And that's a heavy presence. So if we know that, then that's when you take the food to. I just think that at this point, it might be the library people who are going in on a daily, taking their kids, taking themselves in to maybe go get some books. Maybe they're trying to search for a job, and they just feel like it's a nuisance. So as the city gets whiffed of all of this stuff, they start acting on it. And I think that's what really happened. I think that the individuals need to, if they need permits, maybe they need to move to another location. I believe that when I looked at it, it said that they were supposed to be at a specific location and they wanted them to do it. They didn't tell them they couldn't do it, but I just think that they need to go through the correct channels to get it done, because, I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to hang it up and say, okay, well, since we can't do it at the public library, we're not going to feed homeless? I mean,
yeah. Well, you know, David, there was a thing here. I'll bring Soslan to the panel here in a little bit, but there was a YouTube clip that came out about a week and a half, almost 2 weeks now, because the city of Houston is having issues with this specific, I guess you could say sector maybe, or part of the group of Food Not Bombs in Houston. Because like I said, guys, if you have been paying attention to the beginning of this episode, we do have Food Not Bombs food sharing programs here in Florida. And I have not seen here in Fox Orlando or any of West 2 News, which is CBS here in Orlando, I have not seen any issues with Food Not Bombs here. That covers about 7 or 8 major locations here in the Sunshine State, or known as the Freedom State. So I have no idea what's going on in Houston, but there was a cop literally addressing to this woman that we were about to bring on, that is an affiliate with Food Not Bombs there in Houston, as well as a member of Black Lives Matter, getting ticketed. And this ticket was very heavy. She showed right on camera that a Houston cop, David, ticketed her for $250, man. Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot of money for one. I think if you're going to ticket it, at least give me a warning in the beginning so I can adjust fire on that, because first off, you know, you giving me a ticket of $250 for what? For doing the right thing? I mean, if you're telling me that me feeding the homeless is worth a ticket, somebody somewhere has an issue. There's a problem somewhere, and the problem needs to be fixed. And I think that it needs to be addressed. I mean, honestly, $250, that's a hefty fine just feeding the homeless. That's $250 that could have been used to go get more food, to go get necessities that these individuals might need. And I just think that that's a hefty price. I mean, come on. I mean, what are you going to do? Go into a courtroom and say, hey, I was feeding the homeless, and they fine me $250?
Yeah. What about you, Sas? You got any issues on this or thoughts?
I do.
Sorry about that. I'm kind of leaving Sauce hanging a little bit. I mean, he's got some patience, but I figured I'd give David a little bit of airtime here because, he hasn't been on the show in a while. But what's your thoughts on this, bud?
Something doesn't add up right. Something just doesn't add up right at all.
Yeah. What do you mean it doesn't add up right?
Have you ever? There's programs.
Yeah.
There are state-funded programs for a specific reason. There's SNAP. There's WIC. So you're telling me that if I'm going to get something free, I expect something to do. I have to do something.
Yeah.
Either I have lost a job and I have to show proof of losing a job. Something doesn't come out for free. And here's what I think. I think they're brainwashing. They're saying, well, we're going to get you free food, but you have to vote the way we tell you to do. And you know what? You have to align with the same political beliefs as we do, because we are giving you free food. And it's either, or if not, if we see you not commending, if we don't see you bowing before us, we're going to stop giving you guys, stop giving you guys free. And there's such a thing as called churches. Churches offer free food, and our church offers a food pantry. You can go to a pantry, and a church doesn't offer, it's not Marxist by any means. A church doesn't fuel hatred. And another thing is, I really hope, and I'm going to be this kind of a person, and look at the people behind it. Look at their motives. Look at their goals. I'm glad that the Houston Police Department did the right thing. Maybe they're coming to a realization saying, oh, they're inciting violence. I would state that they're inciting violence because they're so adamant about pushing violence upon us. They're the ones that are doing it. They're the real people, not the Americans. They're the ones. Yeah. And this is one way to incentivize people and say, hey, you know what? You're going to show up at this protest because we're offering free food and we're offering free cell phones, and that's it. The police officers are onto something, and I'm onto something as well.
But this also goes back to a recent discussion we had on the show with you and Joseph and myself with this entitlement, right? I think the homeless people. I'm not bashing homeless people. I'm not bashing people of low income or poverty line guidelines, but it kind of goes back to the entitlement. Some of these food sharing programs have gotten out of control over the years where they expect it. They expect it every Monday, those people showing up in downtown Houston, or Friday, or whatever the schedule is when they come. And they're almost radicalized. They act like animals, some of these people, homeless people.
And it's like, and it's
all you're giving me is just a fucking plate.
And it's a revolving door. Yeah. That's the whole thing is. And here's the thing, okay? If I'm homeless, number one, I'm unhappy if I'm homeless. Okay. Yeah. Become homeless. That bothers me. Okay. If I lose a job, I expect to want to help my family, help people. They don't want to encourage people to work. They want them to say, you know what? We're gonna tell you what to do, and if you dare even get a job, we're gonna take your rights away. We're gonna take your cell phone away. We're gonna take your food away.
Yeah,
it is communist Russia's doing, but they're doing it in rations, and that's why. Personally, I was going to say to them, "Do you want to go back to your country? Where do you want to go to? Because I would be happy to book you guys a flight to Russia, St. Petersburg or Moscow, Russia, where you guys belong. Because if they truly hate this country, and that's what the Black Lives Matter, they're straight communists. If they truly hate this country, go to St. Petersburg, go to Ukraine, get out of this country, and leave this country for people that want to live the American dream. Because they are attacking the American dream, the concept of it. And I did an episode on it last night, the attack of the dream.
Yeah, Sauce was full of energy. Go ahead, Joseph.
Yeah, amen, Sauce. You are onto it here. And for people, hopefully there are some people tuned in because they heard we were covering the Red Rose thing. And Sauce nailed it. For you new viewers, I'm the author. You see it there in the corner. Terror Strikes Coming Soon to a City Near You. Sauce nailed it. They are using the geisha tactics. Global Islamic Jihadist Interim Army, GIJA, short for Islamic Fundamentalists, GIJA, the GIJA tactics of radicalization.
Yep.
Come here, we'll give you food that makes their rally looks bigger. Black lying Marxists and Antifa do that by paying people to make it look like they are bigger than what they are when they are just some small, loon, fringe, radical nut jobs. They are bribing people with food, like Sauce said, to get them to a rally to make it look bigger and make it look like their movement is gaining momentum.
Happy anniversary, Hulu.
Pinky, are you pondering what I'm pondering?
I think so, Brain. Isn't it Hulu's 15th anniversary?
For once you're right, Pinky.
Happy 15th birthday! This is so exciting.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary, Hulu.
Happy anniversary, Hulu.
Happy anniversary, Hulu. We love you.
Happy Hulu-versary,
Hulu. Happy 15th anniversary, Hulu.
Happy birthday, Hulu. Happy 15th birthday.
15 amazing years.
Congrats.
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 Congrats on 15 years, Hulu.
It's exciting.
Happy anniversary, Hulu.
I hope your parents throw you an amazing party.
We feel very old.
Hard work, dedication, longevity. Let's go. Congratulations.
Cheers to you in 15 years.
Happy 15th anniversary.
Go you.
Happy 15th, Hulu.
Happy 15th, Hulu.
Happy anniversary, Hulu.
Happy 15th birthday, Hulu.
Congratulations.
Happy 15th, Hulu. Happy anniversary, Hulu.
Happy anniversary, Hulu.
Happy anniversary, Hulu.
Congrats on 15 years, Hulu.
Congrats on 15 years.
Happy 15th, Hulu.
15 years. Hulu. 15 good years.
Yes.
You know, green is my favorite color. And also on you.
I could spend hours just watching you. Happy 15th anniversary, Hulu.
Happy 15th anniversary, Hulu.
I knew we were meant to be.
Congrats.
Happy anniversary, Hulu.
Happy 15th.
Happy 15th. Happy 15th. Happy 15th.
Happy 15th anniversary.
It's been 15
Amazing years, Hulu.
Here's to many more.
Congrats. Congrats.
You better be in by curfew.
Happy 15 years, Hulu.
Happy anniversary, Hulu.
Wow, 15 years. You have a driving permit.
Happy anniversary, Hulu.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary, Hulu.
You're 15 and you're gorgeous. Keep at it. Let's pop some champagne.
Woo!
Also, while I have you, can I get a free subscription?
And with that, since you nailed it there, I'm gonna head out and leave.
You gonna head out, Joseph?
Yeah.
Alrighty, buddy.
You guys have definitely got this shit covered.
Oh yeah. So hey, Joseph, before you head out, man, you got any busy or I guess you got a busy schedule. So who are you gonna be appearing on now? I always ask.
Yeah, I was on the Abolitionist Roundtable, 9 a.m. Wham Radio this morning. We were talking about pro-life things, you know, with the child, the warped, mentally ill female that shot up the Christian school, hate crime that the left won't call hate because it's only a hate crime to the media, as I call them, the liberal activist media.
Hey Joseph,
before identity group they want to trump up.
Joseph, before you leave, man, I want you to see this before you leave. If you have like at least like 50 seconds here, guys, you gotta check this out, and then we're gonna let Joseph depart because you guys really need to check this video out, guys. Check this video out. I mean, it's literally. It's kind of disgusting where this group we were about to bring on today, because we actually had a video clip which I would love for them to see, but they probably don't want to see their own crap, guys. I mean, literally. Check this out, guys.
So if we're going to do media, we can't follow them. We have to have our own concepts. We have to actually go against what they consider to be media, because what they consider to be media is not media. It's just to excite the people, waste their times in frivolity. And if you're going to be a media for people who are oppressed, you must give them clear political facts, historical facts, scientific facts, so they can accumulate these facts to help in their process of liberation.
What's up, everybody? It's the Flagrant Leftist Podcast, and we have a very exciting episode, very special guest here. Today, I'm Maya. I'm your host, and I'm very excited for what we're about to get into. So, without on that interaction, or is it confrontation? I know Cherie Dorr, she had some targeting, I feel like, with certain
their spiritual wisdom and physical strength. I am very much aware why the Wasishu cut off my people's hair. It wasn't just to have them assimilate. Braids are like antennas.
Yeah, that seems like they seem like
the one on the left of the screen, guys, is a woman of Russian descent that's wearing the black brigade. They have that fist type of emblem on both of them.
Yeah.
Vladimir
Putin would love to have her.
I can never pronounce that fucking word, and then the other one has the black hoodie that has the fist with the meaning black power. Yeah, that means black power, but it also represents red rose, and then it represents Black Lives Matter. Joseph, 30 seconds, buddy, before you depart. What's your insight on that?
Before I duck out, and I'm not sure when we're airing, but April 1st, April Fool's Day, thelibertybeacon.com, the article I was talking about, pro-life, very serious, even though it's posted on April Fool's Day. It's not a joke, it's very serious. Please check out thelibertybeacon.com. Search Joseph M. Lenard, no Owen Leonard. You'll see all my articles. But she's talking about historical facts, completely distorted, out of context.
The flavoring leftist, Joseph.
That's what they are about, twisting. Yeah, they'll throw an occasional fact in, but it is only so that, in Joseph Goebbels style, hang it upon a big lie that they want to sell.
Lies, lies, lies.
All right, take care, everybody. God bless.
See you, Joseph.
Take it easy, buddy. All right, guys, you just heard Joseph M. Leonard. He's part of Savaged Unfiltered here of the Savaged Army. Always an honor having him on the show. It's just me, Sos, and David here. David, buddy, what'd you think of that video?
That video.
Uneducated morons, right? Let me put the words in your mouth, right?
Yeah, it looked like, it's just one of those things that someone seemed like they just, turned on the camera and just said, we're not going to know what we're talking about. We're just going to throw something out. And again, like with anything, if people don't go and research, if people don't go and look for the truth, they'll believe that.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is you want to always search for the truth. I believe anybody that is out there searching for the truth or looking for the truth needs to actually do fact checks. A lot of times people go and they listen to a radio show or they listen to CNN or all these big major companies and platforms or podcasts as well. And they're not fact checking. They're just believing what someone says. And the next thing you know, their mind is like,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
And the biggest thing today that a lot of young folks don't know and don't realize, and they haven't been taught is, when you have a car, every young person gets a car at some point in their life. They get their first job or they're in high school, they need a car or whatever the case may be. A lot of them will get a car, right? And instead of them being grateful for that car for the next 20 years, they sell the car, they do something with it, give it away, they do a bunch of stuff with it. They don't keep it, they don't upkeep the maintenance on it. They end up selling the car, get rid of the car, or the car goes into the ground, and next thing you know, they don't have a car. And the biggest thing that I tell a lot of people, and I made a Facebook post earlier today, was the biggest thing I want to say to young people is get a car, pay it off, so that you can have some assets in your life. The big thing we're going to all have is liabilities in our life. It comes with it. Debts are liabilities. Anything you pay off is an asset to you. It's something that you can take, sell, and make money off of it if you come, around hard times. And I think that a lot of young folks really need to invest more time in understanding how life works than gang violence, than killing on the street, than anything that, hinders their success, that hinders their way of life. Nobody wants to sit in prison for 30 years and get out 30 years later as an old person.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back to the show. Welcome to Savage Unfiltered. We're about to wrap this episode up here pretty soon here. Pretty soon. Sos, yeah, what a bummer. The communist, American communists.
That's expected.
Here, known as
That's
Red
expected.
Rose Media.
That's expected,
yeah,
Michael. That is expected.
They weren't having it, huh, Sos?
No,
they definitely weren't having coming on to Savage Unfiltered.
No.
Got any closing thoughts here, Sos, before we depart, buddy?
I do. So here's my clothing. Here's my
Sos,
clothing.
Earth the Sos. You there, bud?
Yeah. Here's my clothing thoughts.
Hello, Sos. Sos is frozen. Okay.
What? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, buddy.
Okay, I don't know what happened. Here's my clothing thoughts. Okay. I think the fact that they're bringing Christian aspect into it is absolutely atrocious. You shouldn't be bringing in Christian viewpoints in. You shouldn't be bringing Christian life, and you shouldn't be bringing degrading people of faith for your own cause. Because Jesus tells us to give unto the poor, that is the widows, the needy children, and people that are old. And those are the three people. He didn't say spread communism, and he didn't say make sure you show hatred to your brother and sister, and if they don't comply, you arrest them. That's a big difference.
Yeah.
And I think that this is a very dangerous message that they're pushing. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Well, and you guys are, well put.
Okay, this could be opening. So with I don't know if you were able to see my Facebook message or my big message, Frazier, or not. But one thing that just blows my mind, as if I'm going to open this up, is that freedom is at stake. And when you have people going after you, like for instance, the chair of the Democratic Party of Marquette County, stating that she was absolutely repulsive about my message about fighting for America. When she told me about, and she just actually put that in, and she said the fact that I stood up for America, this is her text herself. Okay, she's stating the fact that you mentioned the word freedom.
Show it on screen, Scott, if you don't mind. I mean,
okay.
If you got information on there where it's, all right, there you go. You see that, guys? That's amazing. It says, "Hi, Sauce," one of your Facebook posts, okay, to a video, okay, seems to say that we shouldn't go after an ex-president. And by doing so, somehow threatens our freedom. I believe it protects our freedom. No one is above the law. Please reply. Thanks. Yes, us. I'm sorry I had to throw that in there. That's why I said if you have private information you don't want to air on Rumble, because it's going to be part of the
want that
video.
So that's the mindset. That's the mindset of.
One second. Sorry. Hold that thought, Sauce. People need to see this shit, Sauce, because this is the stuff that CNN and fascistocrat MSNBC won't show, right?
Yeah, and that's the mindset that is instilled, saying that, well, can't go after former president. Oh, well, if we're going to go after former presidents, how come we can't go after Bill Clinton for what he did? How come we can't go after Hillary Clinton? How come we can't go after Joe Biden, who is former vice president? How come we can't go after all those people? See, the whole concept above the law is so one-sided. It's not even funny. Oh, you're not above the law.
This is what we're talking about, Sauce. This is exactly what we're talking about. And I'm kind of glad now that Red Rose Media wasn't able to join us today. Because guess what, folks? That means we conservatives are winning, and they feel that our base here on Savage Unfiltered and other conservative platforms, such as Tucker, that got attacked, and he's still winning because Tucker was brave by showing the January 6th footage. Okay? That means we're winning, Stas. That means their base is failing, and they have nothing to show America.
And they go after your character. And then they go after me and tell them, you know what? Like the lawmaker yesterday. And this was absolutely repulsive. And this is how I'm probably going to end it. I don't know if you heard this, Frazier, yesterday, but to have somebody, what are your thoughts on this before we leave, Frazier? when one of the Democratic lawmakers and that was out at protests and got out of hand. You know what she said? She's like, you know what, Mr. Temanson? I said, nope, no, you use my proper pronouns. Soslan Temanson. That is to you. You're supposed to call me that. Don't call me Sos. Don't call me any of that. Okay, she's like, well, whatever. She's like, you don't belong.
What the fuck were we supposed to call you, Sos?
No, I want people to call me Soslan. Only people, good friends, call me Sos. Like, that's the whole thing. But the fact that she said this, that you do not belong in America, that we can extradite you back to your country where you belong. That is psychotic.
That's terrible.
See, what are your thoughts on that, Frazier? As we can.
Yeah, we're gonna close up this episode because we have our next set of guests coming in. But go ahead, Frazier.
Real quick, I just feel that the term when people say "go back to your country" and all of those big things. I mean, when you look at the whole earth, we kind of could belong anywhere we want to be. I mean, we all have that choice. I just think that a lot of times when people use that phrase, they don't have an out. And what that means is that that's their go-to because they don't really have an argument, a point in some instances, in some cases. So they utilize that to scare someone into believing or kind of making them bow down to what it is that they want them to bow down to. So I just think that honestly, it's one of those things where people just they don't have a go-to. They don't have an argument. They just have a words that they've heard from many centuries ago, and they utilize it. Now, hopefully, it's used as a scare tactic to make that person be quiet and bow down and say, "Okay, well, since you said that to me, I'll just sit here and listen, and I won't say anything." So that's just my thoughts on it. I just think that it's just wrong.
Oh, of course. I believe it's wrong too, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's episode here that we touched on. Food sharing programs obviously getting shut down in Houston, Texas.
That's good. Thank goodness. About time.
Food Not Bombs. I mean, yes, I understand it's helping, the needy. It's helping people that are living below the poverty line. But some of these programs, folks, are corrupted. Some of them need to be addressed accurately and responsibly. And, with the cop saying, you're ripping off taxpayers and stuff like that, I think more investigations have to go into play with this organization, Food Not Bombs. Guys, if you want to learn anything that we discussed here on the show, we'll put in the show notes here on Spotify, iHeartRadio, including our Rumble feed here through Savaged Unfiltered. Guys, thank you very much, and we'll catch you on the next one, guys. Take it easy.